It's all going to be about crochet granny squares. So if that sounds like something that you might want to hang around for, grab your project, grab your drink, and follow me. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I'm glad you're here today. Whether you are new or you are returning, I appreciate any time you take out of your day to hang out with me. Because, sometimes I am a little much. And the fact that I am self-aware of that, let me pat myself on the back. I'm kidding. Alright, so, it is Friday. Well, it is Friday when I release this video. I don't know if it's Friday when you're watching this, but it's not Friday when I'm recording this and I can't keep my lid. I'm so excited I got my Starburst flavors back. I had to order them off Amazon. Walmart and Sam's quit carrying them. Now they do have my regular sparkling ice, just not my Starburst flavored, because they replaced them with Lifesaver flavors. Now it tastes nothing like Lifesavers. So anyway, you didn't come to hear all about that. So I have 6 patterns. And I did not realize this until Meredith told me, but happy Granny Square month. I did not know June was Granny Square month. So that happened, and it coincided with me starting this new short term. I mean, it might not only be for the month of June, and I'm sorry, my hair is getting all in my face. It might not just all be in June. I might continue it for a little while longer. But the fact that I'm doing 6 patterns last Friday and then 6 patterns this Friday is a coinky dink. Okay? It's just a coinky dink. But 6 patterns seems to be a good thing for me to find ones that I like, the ones that I think y'all might be interested in, and having some variation in difficulty. So it just happens to be 6 patterns in the month of June. 6 and 6. Yep. All right. So the first one right here. Now I did not block any of these. I just finished these last night. And my day, it is 4 o'clock already again, and I'm recording late. But I had to run to Michael's. I didn't have to run today, but when I mentioned it to my daughter-in-law, when her and my grandson came up to go walking with me, which we do every morning, except yesterday morning, and I'll explain that later when we get to the chit-chat part. But anyway, I ended up going. Actually, all that can be saved for the chit-chat part. I'm so sorry. Okay. Squirrels. They're all over the place in here too. All right, my very first square. It is a Victorian lattice square, and it is not blocked, like I said. But is that not a beautiful square? Now, this square is bigger than I'm sure it was intended to, because this square with my hook, it's 9 by 9 square. Okay? But I also used a 5.25 millimeter, which in a lot of people's, that's eye hook. But I love it. It is so pretty. Now this is by, I found an image of this, and it led to a blog. And she said, she had basically saw the picture and deconstructed it to where she could write the pattern out and make this square. And then later she found out that this lady called Destiny Wymore is the author and the designer of this square. So she took all her instructions off her blog and linked this. It is a free Ravelry download, and it's called Victorian Lattice Square. Now she says to use a 4.5 with Aran weight, a 4.5 millimeter, and I used a 5.25 with a 4 weight, worsted weight. This is that that Red Heart that I got from Dollar Tree, you know, when they had that 1 pound thing. I like it. It's a good little yarn, but it was in my scrap bag, so that's what I used. But I think this is beautiful. Now, had I opened it up and blocked it a little bit better, I mean, you can see, is that not gorgeous? I wish I had had time to block it, but I didn't, because I haven't been long got back home. So, no blocking for me. Now, number 2, and this will appreciate, some of you will appreciate it. And I know I love a good waffle stitch. I do waffle stitch kind of on my dish rags because it gives me some nubblies. But I've never done it in a granny square pattern. I've just done it rows, right? Well, this right here, this is a waffle stitch granny square. Now, it is, the link is down below. Oh, you know what? I'll make sure that I have my son put up the picture for this. But this right here is, it's on Lucy Kate Crochet's website, but it's actually by Sarah Holloway. And she has a couple examples. Now, she does show you how to make a square out of the waffle stitch. What I like about this is she walks you through how to make a traditional waffle stitch, right? Then she goes on to show you how to make it into a square. I love my waffle stitch, but I've never made it in a granny square before. And I think that is just the cutest thing. And it's very squishy. Very, very, very squishy. I like that. So, there are, I know some of you. I'm looking at you, Brandy. And another thing, though, the reason why I am liking granny squares, because it is June, and I am in the South, and it's hot. So, I prefer in the summer months to do smaller projects. And if I'm wanting to do a blanket, I try to make sure that I can get a blanket design in my head that tolerates being squares, and then I can sew them up when it gets warm. I mean, when it gets cool. When it gets cool, not warm. So, I like the way she walks you through this. Now, if this, she does have very good pictures on her website. She doesn't walk you through stitch by stitch on doing this part, but she has walked you through stitch by stitch with pictures on how to do the waffle stitch if you've never experienced it. So definitely recommend both of these patterns, the Victorian lattice and the waffle. Actually, I'm gonna tell you, all 6 of these knocked it out of the park as far as good, decent pattern writing skills. One of them I thought had here it is. So it's the waffle stitch. So she does, like I told you that one pattern does, she does the name of the stitch and then the number of how many she wants you to do. I'm just used to the older style of writing, or the style that I've ever come across with most patterns, to where it says, all right, if they want you to do double crochets and they want you to do 3 of them, they do 3 DC instead of DC 3. So just to warn you, but otherwise the pattern writing is impeccable. I love it. Now, number 3. How pretty is that? This is the Solstice granny square, And this one right here is Crochet for You. It's on a blog. It doesn't, I don't know the name of the person that did this. It doesn't tell me. But basically, the reason I was drawn to this is it is granny stitch and V-stitch. That's it. And it's simple, but it's beautiful. And I love the different variations. Now, if I hadn't used a different white, I think my V-stitches would be a lot more prominent. Or if I just keep stretching it. Because, hello, I didn't block. But, again, impeccable pattern writing. And she does give you a couple different, you know, pattern variations, and something is itching my neck. Like for winter solstice or summer solstice, or, you know, solstice is the shortest day of the year and the longest day of the year. Longest day is in June, obviously, and the shortest is in December. But you can do this in so many color variations. That's what drew me to this. And again, I'm using scrap leftovers, right? But I still have some of this yarn, so I may be doing more of these squares because I like them a lot. Now, be warned, I did see a couple more that I'm going to be trying when I was doing all this, so these will not be our last. And I got something in the mail this morning from Miss Meredith, and I will show y'all that there at the end. I'm not going to really do a happy mail, but it relates to all this, so stay tuned. Okay, my next block. I did 2 of these. All right, I didn't think I had enough, which technically I didn't, and I'll show you that in a minute. I didn't think I had enough of the salmon color and the green color, right, to do this. Now, y'all know I love waffle stitches. I love beautiful shells. I love block stitch. There's certain stitches that kind of do it for me. But, like the waffle stitch, I had never thought about doing it in a square format that I could do it in the winter time. In the summertime, right? So, if you think about your favorite stitches, you could probably make them into a square. You don't even have to do them in a granny square from the center out. You can literally do row by rows and then put a border on them and make them a square. But I like the fact that I found these, the waffle stitch. I do love the solstice one with the V stitches and the granny stitches. But I also love my block stitch, okay? And forgive the color, but this is the first one I made. Okay, yes, I know this one is seashore ombre or something by Karen. I thought I had brought my scrap bag in here, which it has the ball band for that, but it's seaside something ombre by it's Karen Jumbo. All right, and I did it with black because that's what I had in my bag. Now, I did go hunting through my bag after I was finished with everything and made another square, and I didn't have enough of this color. But I did have a coral look from, I think it was Big Twist Value or Big Twist Living. So I had a little bitty ball, and it was thankfully enough to do it. But I love this. Now this is a granny square on YouTube by Mima Makes. And I'll put that right there. Now, I like how the colors that she did, they're very beautiful. And you know, you can see by her picture, you can do it it doesn't matter. But you do need to do odd. You need to stop on an odd number of rows, because evens are the block stitches, the chain 3s, single crochet rows. Those are evens. The granny stitch clusters are on the odds. So you're going to have to do odd, whether it's 3, 5, 7. I think I did 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I did 7 on both. Whew. And y'all should be proud of me. I wove in all my ends. I did. I had a migraine yesterday, and I still have some of the residual. Tomorrow, the migraine hangover situation will hit me, and I'm not going to be able to do much. That's why today is Wednesday, but I'm filming today because I know what tomorrow's going to be like. I'm not going to be able to do hardly anything tomorrow. So I wanted to be able to get this out to y'all because I really love all of these squares. All right. My last two are kind of connected. All right. Let me see here. All right, let's do the first one. And that is a moon granny square. And it's on a website called grannysquare.me. Now, she did yellow, and I don't have a name for this website or this blog. I don't. The top of it says, we are moving from Sew Granny Squares to grannysquare.me. Okay. Sure. All right. So there's no name attached to this blog, but now they used yellow and blue, as you can see. And I didn't have any. I did have some royal blue or some navy-ish blue, but I didn't have any yellow in scraps. So I did have some black and white. Now, how pretty is that? I think that is the first crescent moon that I've tried. Now, I have seen plenty of crescent moons that I thought were pretty, but I've never found an attached pattern. This right here is very, very cool. Now, it is not squared off. It's not blocked, you know. And I'm pretty sure my gauge was all over the place because, you know, the aforementioned migraine. But I really, really enjoyed doing this one. Okay. The pattern, I will tell you this. All right. I'm going to read you one line, and then I'm going to follow that. It's not a negative, but it is not exactly a positive. So, all right. She says, in this round, we'll make 18 DC stitches, 18 double crochet stitches, with the first replaced by chain 3 to make a foundation for our moon shape. Y'all know me. I don't do chain 3s. I do a stacked single. Or standing, I don't know what they call them. I call it a stacked single to get up to a double crochet. So anyway, the first line says magic ring, chain 3, and then counts as DC in parentheses. 17 DC, slip stitch into the top of chain 3, fasten off. Okay, that's fine. It's a little, you know, but then she follows it up with, literally breaks down all of that sentence into 2, 4, 5 pictures. So I feel like even the most beginner person, as long as you know how to do a single crochet, a half double, a double, and a triple or treble, you've got this. And you can make it so plastic cute. Wait, what's the back? What's the front? I think this is the back. Yep, that's the front. Because she has you working in the back loops around the outside of the moon. Because basically you make this, and then you start your moon, and then you go out. And then you do your black. So, I think it's only 4 rounds total. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's only 4 rounds total. But the thing I like most about this particular pattern writing is the pictures. Because, like, when she gets into making these right here, because you go from slip stitch all the way up to a treble 2 together. So she shows you in each stitch what's next. It's a picture, and she literally has it labeled. Same with when you're going on the outside of that moon, because you need to know exactly what you're doing where. And sometimes when you are looking at words, it doesn't quite get it. Does that make sense? I mean, I don't know if y'all are that way or not. I liked having both. But you're also talking to the girl who learned how to crochet and knit from static web pages. There was no YouTube when I learned. So, and you know, I know there's people out there older than me that watch my channel. Hello! So you learned an entirely different way than I did, because you probably didn't have the internet web pages available then. So kudos to you. You probably did a lot of magazines, a lot of crochet books, you know, that kind of thing, or family members. Well, I love the fact that she does it. And I don't think you could get this from a YouTube video. I think this is the best platform for her style of patterns, because it is handy when you're, and I'm sitting here when I'm doing it, I'm like, okay, slip, single, half, double, double, treble, treble 2 together, treble, treble corner, treble, treble, treble 2 together, double, double, half double, or I do half, single, and slip. I'm saying this as I'm doing it, and it's nice to be able to look back at that thing and say, oh, okay, I'm dead on there. Oh no, I made a mistake, because I missed a half double in there. Even when I'm telling you, when I'm calling it off to you, I missed saying it. It's 2 half doubles, 2 doubles, a treble 2 together, the single treble. Wait, I don't think it was a single treble, because I had to do the corner. And she has it as a treble increase. No, the treble 2 together is in the black. Yeah. So, what? I don't know. No, I'm taking the other round. Y'all will see. But it's nice to see how she's done it, and to make it actually work in regards to, yeah, see, I did a treble increase. Where was my treble 2 together? Oh, that was the next pattern. Because I did use 2 patterns from this. But I'm doing it in Celestial, you know, because I'm going to show you this next one, okay? A+. Pattern, excellent. I'm going to make many moons. Actually, I will probably only make a couple moons, but I want to try to figure out how to make them bigger. Now, I did all these. All of the rest from the waffle stitch on, I did my 4.5 millimeter clover. This one I did with that 5.25, I think it was a boy. Yeah, it was a boy hook from Walmart. My very first crochet hook. And I still have it. But I didn't like how loosey-goosey this was. But I wanted loosey-goosey so that you could see the stitch definition, because if you get too tight, it doesn't work as well. So after the Victorian lattice, I switched to my 4.5 millimeter. So I might have to go up to that 5.25 millimeter for this moon. And the reason why is because the other pattern I picked came out the square came out very much larger, and I'm going to show you. Sorry, I am so thirsty. All right, so this next one, it is a Starburst Granny Square. Hold on to your seats. You ready? With the bobble stitch. What I just get finished saying about bobble stitches? But this one is in one round, like I was telling y'all that I didn't mind in that sunflowers. See, the center of that is a bobble stitch, but it's the second row, and it's 3 double crochets bobbled together. And I don't consider, it's flat, so to me that's not necessarily, or am I thinking bobble versus bubble? I don't know. I think it's bobble. But you see how beautiful that is, right? Again, I didn't have those colors. I do like the light blue and the dark blue, but I had white and black. But that came out so beautifully, and I am so picky on my stars. I am just tickled pink with how this star came out. I don't know whose blog this is, but it is wonderful. But they call that a Starburst Granny Square with bobble stitch. And on their color suggestions, it says, for stunning alternative color combination, try a forest white background with a pink star for an elegant woodland feel. What is a forest white background? Tell me that. To me, it's white. But what is a forest white? Now, I do agree that the white background with a pink star would be pretty, but it doesn't give me a woodland feel. I don't know. And it says, or a dusty rose background with a cream star, looking for a vintage romantic look. Okay. I'm thinking celestials. I have a moon. So this is what I was telling you. See how much bigger this is? I would definitely have to go bigger to do this. But I think I have some yellow. Ooh, I have Karen yellow. I have Big Twist. Oh, Big Twist is a little bit too bright. I think like a soft, creamy yellow would look gorgeous. It would look gorgeous in this. And a gray. Because they're sitting side by side on my thing. Yeah, I might do that. Because even though the contrast isn't that drastic, that softness just looks so pretty together. Okay, so I would definitely go bigger on the moon hook size to get the same size, because the square, now I did use a 4.5 millimeter with red heart for both of those things. The moon is 6 by 6 roughly. I'm using my cutting board. And then the moon, the star, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. The star is a 6 by 6, while the moon is only a 5 by 5. And it wouldn't be so bad if the moon itself was bigger. I could make do, I could add another round if the star, the moon itself was bigger. But y'all see, usually the moon is the biggest thing and the star is smaller. So, I don't know. I might blow this puppy up to where it's like a 12 by 12 and then do some stars around it. Oh, no, you know what I could do? Oh, okay. I could do some plain squares around it and then do stars on the outside of it. That would be gorgeous. Okay. I need to write that idea down, because if I say it in a video and I don't write it down, I forget it. And I'm not going to play an entire video to try to find out what I was saying. Have y'all ever done that? When I am watching someone's video, usually I do it on my TV. So usually I do have my phone handy, and I'll just type in a little note to myself on Samsung Notes. I do it. So there is my 6 patterns that I will definitely use again and again and again. And that Victorian lattice, I'm going to block this out and see how big it gets, because like I said, right now it is a 9x9. Yeah, a 9x9. So it might block out to a 10x10. I don't know, maybe a 9.5. Oh no, it would definitely, because when I stretched it, it went to 10. I don't know about height wise. Well, yeah, okay. So it'll probably go to a 10x10 square. And depending on what you wanted it for, whether it was a baby blanket or a adult's blanket, that would be a beautiful throw. You know, all those that I want to make for donations, that would be gorgeous. Yeah. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that. The video is not over, but for those of you who came just to check out the squares, I hope you enjoyed them. I loved them. I loved making them. They really, really, they probably hit better than last week's. I don't know. Last week's. I'm trying to remember last week's. What did I do with last week's? Oh, I put them in my scrap bag. Because what I do is I have a lot of squares in my scrap bag. So I will put them together and, you know, do all that fun stuff. So this is what was waiting on me on my ramp this morning when I went out to take Maya to go potty. And I'm like, it has my name on it. Which I should have known when it has Lynn instead of my first name, that it did not come from my Amazon. Because my Amazon uses my first name. So the fact that it had Lynn on there should have been, yeah. But anyway, I was not, my brain wasn't anywhere working this. But anyway, Meredith sent me 2 little treats. And when Meredith types in the comments, she goes, squeeze! Yeah, well, I did that. When I opened it. Because look at that. A granny square card deck. And she was reading my mind because I had this in my cart, like I was going to buy it. But I was hesitant because I have found so many online that I'm loving. So I didn't want to go ahead and get this when I'm finding all these other free ones. That's not only, and honestly, it's not only opening me up to new designs or new designer people, but there's other things on these websites that I'm seeing, or I'll go down a rabbit hole. I have about 13 that I put to the side because there's some of them that are 3D and some that are just too holy, you know, so I'm not sure about showing them. If y'all are interested in some 3D type things, let me know and I will include them. Otherwise, they're just going to stay in the for me pile. But now this right here, it says the ultimate, hold on, let me do this. The ultimate crochet design tool for limitless successful color combinations. 50 gorgeous granny square cards. Lay them out, mix them up, create your own design. Each card has a photo of a granny square on the front and its stitch chart on the back. Also contains an essential guide to reading stitch charts, color matching, and joining. So I wonder if they have different joining methods. Cool beans. Alright, so it says it's a granny square card deck and booklet. Alright. Okay. we're going to open this. Because I have... The one thing that the whatchamacallit, the review said was a lot of them are the same, just different color variations. And that's good for when you're not, you know, wanting to think too hard. Okay, woo. I see the back, it says checkerboard. Y'all, okay. What does that... First image, first response to that color. I know what it screams to me. And I'm thinking refrigerators, stoves. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Now, for the people under 50, you might not get it. Maybe 40. Maybe under 40. But this is a 70s kitchen through and through. That's the first thing that hit my mind, okay? I'm not going to lie. Ooh, a floral crown. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay. All right. All right. So, I may incorporate some of these in there too. Can I do that? I don't know if I can do that. I don't know the legalities on that. So, let me check that first before I show all of that. But I mean, come on, let's face it. If it's in here, it's probably on there. So what I can do is if... Okay, all rights reserved. No part of this publication, text, photographs, or illustrations may be reproduced or transmitted in any form by any means, print, photo print, microfilm, microfiche, photocopy, or video, internet, or any other way known as or yet unknown, stored in a retrieval system without written permission or obtained beforehand by search press. Okay, so that means I cannot do that. So if I find something that I think that y'all would like in this deck, I will go looking for the free version on the internet. Now, I will give you my 100% honest opinion after I go through this and try a couple of them to see, you know, the deal. But I will say, I did think that... Alright, so on here it does have joining methods. And it refers to a page number, so I'm wondering if that's the user guide booklet? Yes. See, alright, so it says page 14 or 15. So let me open that. Okay. So if you do better by reading versus videos, you can also find out how to do join as you go and slip stitching, and I'm sure mattress stitch and whip stitch and all that fun stuff. Then the other thing, I have not opened this, but I'm pretty sure it's a blocking board, which will come in handy, right? As long as I have time to block something. All right, hang tight. Oh, that is pretty. That has a design on it. Now, Meredith did say it was a bamboo. Look at that. And Meredith has me pegged. She's like, I know you could probably do it yourself, but... Okay. All right, whoa. Oh, here's my pegs. Okay. Anything else in there? Nope. All right. Okay, so, all right. I wonder how big this puppy is. Oh, I'm sitting on a cutting mat, and I'm wondering how big it is. It is 7.5 by 7.5. Yeah, roughly. So it's about a 7.5 inch square. Now that's not the holes. The holes may be about a 6 inch. Let's see. Yeah. So it looks like it might be a 6 by 6. It'll hold a 6 by 6 square, which that's perfect because my my star, look at there. My star would work. That is awesome. Thank you, Meredith. That was a nice little surprise. And because she says it's Happy Granny Square Month, because she was the one that told me about it. So that is awesome. I am not being able to get into these little pegs. Here they go. But I am going to give this a go right after I stop filming. Actually, after I stop filming, I have to go cook dinner, which I'm thinking is going to be deconstructed stuffed bell peppers again because I love it. Ooh, ooh! Wait a minute. Oh Lordy, we got different size pegs. Okay, why do we have different size pegs? Oh, okay, so it's 2 pegs. So on the back, you'll see that there's 2 holes. You know what I bet you this is for? Yep, this is for drainage. So if you want it to drain, you sit it like that. All right, cool beans. And you have plenty of different pegs to put in here for different sizes. Like if you have something that's a bigger size and a little size, and because you can put, as long as there's airflow, you can put many different squares onto a blocking board. So cool beans. Oops. All right, service card. I'm a wooden blocking board. Each hole is a 1/2 inch away from each other. I'm very strong, but I'm afraid of water, so don't expose me to moisture for a long time. We are protective caps. I'm about to say where, but there's a little baggie in here. What is protective caps for? Oh, for those legs, so that it won't scratch up your table. Cool beans. Wooden blocking boards are prone to mold when exposed to humidity. Darling, I live in the South. So please do not use them for wet blocking. Then why do you have to stand? Oh, I had to stand upside down anyway. The ends of the steel pegs may be a little bit sharp. And add pegs when you want to put it on a table. Okay. Cool beans. All right. Or the caps. All right. Yeah. So maybe if I could do wet blocking. I don't ever do sopping wet blocking anyway. I use steam. So it would be just lightly damp. I think that would be fine. I mean, it's wood. It's not going to, and it feels like I don't know if it's sealed, but I could put butcher block oil on it to seal it and make sure that it does not get moldy. I treat it just like I do my butcher's block for my cutting board. Anyway, I'm going to get off here because, like I said, I have got to cook dinner. But, if you're still here. So, I can tell you, since my boys brought it home that day, I don't know if both of my sons or the one son, they bought their dad a brand new grill. Because my husband's grill has been falling apart for a hot minute. And we had hamburgers Sunday, and my husband was complaining. It's so funny because my son told me when they got here Sunday, he's like, Mom, I'm getting Dad a grill for his birthday. I mean, even though my husband's birthday was already, you know, the last week, he's like, I'm getting Dad a grill for his birthday. I said, well, you could do it for... He's like, I know Dad's birthday's already passed. I'm like, well, you know, you could make it for his birthday and Father's Day type thing. So that's what was happening when I recorded Wednesday's video. So I was listening to the bird. But yes, he loves it. He has yet to try it. We did turn it on so that we would make sure everything, because my son took it home, put it together, and then brought it up here. So, but my husband is super excited. And he's ready to try it out. But, you know, like I said, deconstructed stuffed bell peppers for tonight. And I'm too tired to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway because I've been wanting it. So, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you have a great afternoon, evening, morning, whenever you get to watch this. But if you are watching this on Friday, I hope your weekend is awesome. I hope you have nothing but cool temps, bright skies, and low humidity. Definitely low humidity. Because you would think end of May, beginning of June, that we wouldn't be very humid. Yeah, no. It's been humid. But it's okay. It's all right. I'm going to get going, and I will see you in Monday's video. I hope you have a great one, and that you can find you some kind of joy in your day. I had to reach for mine today. I really did. But I did find it. My grandson, he has the cutest little thing. They were awake. He was fully awake when he got here. But you know how when kids, when they first wake up, they have that cute little spunky, I don't know how to describe it. There's an element of cuteness that the sass hasn't come out for the day yet. Yeah, with that kind of cuteness. And he looks at me and he just does, he did one of his father's expressions, my son. And I was like, well, aren't you looking cute? Aren't you being cute or something? I said, you must have woke up in a good mood. He said, I did, Grandma. And he ran up and threw his arms around my neck. And so, yeah, that was my joy for the day. And trust me, I didn't tell y'all all about my day. I got to talking and doing and showing you all this other stuff. But it was a day. It was supposed to be a quick trip to town. It turned into 4 hours. That's why I'm so late getting this video done. But that's okay. That means I don't have to go to town tomorrow. And when this migraine hangover wipes me completely out, I don't have to do anything. Because I've got my squares done. I did those last night. And let me tell you, trying to learn different... Thankfully, all of that was pretty much... nothing was new. How they put them together. Oh, so sorry. How they put them together was a little bit new for me, but it was just focusing, you know. I couldn't even have the TV on. There was too much stimuli. Stimuli for my brain. I was like, you know, because at one point my blind spots almost put me down in the bed. But I just took about 30 minutes, sat there with my eyes closed. I was like, I have things that I got to do. I can't let a migraine knock me out. So, you know, that's coming tomorrow. And I know it's coming tomorrow. So I'm glad that I got all this done. Because I still have the residual light sensitivity right now. But the major pounding, the headache's still there. It's just not the major migraine part. So once the light sensitivity fades, that's when the hangover hits. Don't you just love neurology? Anyway, ow. I will see you in Monday's video. Take care now, okay? Bye.